Easy. Easy. Don't get up so quickly. How are you feeling? No, I saved your life. My arrow was tipped with a unique paralytic poison. It slowed your heart and kept you from bleeding out. Had I intended to kill you, we wouldn't be having this conversation. My original intention was to use that arrow on Mercer, but I never had a clear shot. I made a split-second decision to get you out of the way, and it prevented your death. More than you'll ever realize. The poison on that arrow took me a year to perfect. I only had enough for a single shot. All I had hoped was to capture Mercer alive. Mercer must be brought before the Guild to answer for what he's done. He needs to pay for Gallus's murder. My purpose in using Snowvale Sanctum to ambush Mercer wasn't simply for irony's sake. Before both of you arrived, I recovered a journal from Gallus's remains. I suspect the information we need is written inside. I wish I knew. The journal is written in some sort of language I've never seen before. Enthir. Gallus's friend at the College of Winterhold. Of course. It's the only outsider Gallus trusted with the knowledge of his Nightingale identity. There were 3 of us. Myself, Gallus, and Mercer. We were an anonymous splinter of the Thieves' Guild in Riften. Perhaps I'll tell you more about it later. Right now, you need to head for Winterhold with the journal and get the translation. Here, take these as well. They may prove useful for your journey. He was a scholar, a master thief, and a natural leader. Everyone respected him and followed him without question. It was Gallus who inducted me into the Nightingales, and honed my skills to a razor-sharp point. I owe everything to him. We were very close. Gallus once said he felt comfortable around me, able to let his guard down. I can't help but think that I'm responsible for what happened to him. Mercer lied to the Guild, branded me a murderer, and slandered my name across his network of contacts. For 25 years I ran, never sleeping in the same place twice and carefully covering my tracks. Mercer doesn't need to die. He needs to feel the cold sting of fate as his life crumbles in front of him and he's hunted by the Guild. I can promise you if it comes to that, and my back's to the wall, I won't hesitate. I'm afraid not. There are preparations to make, and Gallus's remains to lay to rest. I promise to join you there as soon as I can. Remember, speak only to Enthir. Trust no one else.
Karliah? Then she's finally found it. Do you have Gallus's journal? A problem? Let me see it. Ah, this is just like Gallus. A dear friend, but always too clever for his own good. He's written all of the text in the Falmer language. No. However, I know someone who might. The court wizard of Markarth, Calselmo. may have the materials you need to get this journal translated. Word of warning, Calselmo is a fierce guardian of his research. Getting the information won't be easy. Besides the fact that there are only a handful of people in Tamriel that even recognize the language, I'm fairly certain he was planning some sort of a heist that involved a deep understanding of the Falmer language. Sadly, we never had the opportunity to speak about the details. Ironically, I pointed him in the same direction I pointed you, to Markarth and Calselmo. I'm only hoping whatever means he used to learn the language will still be available to you. In the time before man, they were known as the Snow Elves. They lived in the sunlight and had a very prosperous society. Like the Altmer? Yes, I would say their culture quite possibly rivaled our own. The Nords went to war with the Falmer in the First Era, killed them by the thousands to drive them from their snowy homeland. The Falmer retreated underground and forged an uneasy alliance with the dwarves who ended up betraying them. This betrayal made them what they are now, horrible, blind monstrosities with a burning hatred of any but their own kind. Yes, I suppose you're right. Forgive me. I've lost several close friends to the Falmer, and it tends to distort my view. If you wish to learn more about them, you're welcome to my tome on the subject. Should be on my table. He was a dear friend of mine, and a surprisingly astute pupil of academia. I was devastated when he was killed. I suppose that risk always coexisted with his line of work. I just never thought his luck would run out. For the thrill, of course. He was quite clear that he felt more in his element climbing through a window rather than hunched over a dusty tome. Ah, yes, quite an amusing anecdote, actually. I caught him trying to break into my laboratory. I was about to show him the error of his ways when he made a curiously astute comment about my research notes. I was astounded, and in turn it led to a conversation. Who would have imagined it would lead to such a strong friendship? Calselmo is stubborn as a mule. Be careful when you speak to him.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back, and we'll be off. You'd best hurry it up. Little snow never stopped me. Don't worry.
Bit of jewelry for your journey home?
Oh, this pendant would look lovely on my sister.
The reach belongs to the Forsworn!
Huh?
Hey!
This is on what, huh? Here!
I die for my people.
By the Divines, the Forsworn are here in the city.
Everyone stay back. The Markarth City Guard have this all under control. There are no Forsworn here.
Gods. A woman attacked right on the streets. Are you alright? Did you see what happened? A Forsworn? Strange. Well, I hope the Eight give you more peace in the future, for what it's worth. Oh, I think you dropped this.
Damn.
Some kind of note.
Another body
Looks
to get
important.
rid of.
My note? No, that's yours. Must have fallen out of your pocket. No. I was just getting some fresh air. Had one too many pints of mead at the Silver Blood Inn. I'd better get going.
We'll handle things from here. Move along.
Margret, he killed her. Right in front of me. She's a traveler from the Imperial city. Came by every day looking for jewellery for her relatives back home. Why would anyone want to kill her? Doesn't make any sense. What's happening to this city?
Tinky worked down at the smelter. A lot of laborers there
Who's
are
after
sympathetic to the Forsworn. They promise people they'll kill off all the Nords that rule over the Reach. Nothing but murderers and saboteurs. This has ruined my entire day.
If I can't get you something, I'm sure my wife will bellow at me until I can. Ah, Boley finally got someone out here. Well, it's about time. I've been waiting for weeks. Well, thank you for bringing it, I suppose. Have a good day. What? Oh, how could I have possibly forgotten? Your reward, of course. Of course. Here you are. So sorry about that. Remember, ale is cheaper than blood in Markarth.
Hail summon. Conjure me up a warm bed, would you?
What are you hiding, priest?
I'm not hiding anything. It's closed for a reason.
Typical Imperial lies. First, you take away Talos. Now you're keeping us from seeing our honored dead? You and the Jarl will answer for any desecration of my ancestors' bodies.
That's enough, Thongvor. We're done. If it's about the Hall of the Dead, no, you can't go in there. I can't talk about it. Rest assured, the Jarl hears everyone's concerns. You will be able to visit the dead again soon. All right. I was going to suggest the Jarl hire someone to sort this mess out anyway. We've discovered that some of the dead have been eaten. Flesh has been chewed off. Bones were snapped to get at the marrow inside. We haven't caught anyone or anything yet. It's like it knows when I'm there. If you can get to the bottom of this, the priesthood of Arkay will reward you. Take my key, and be careful. Tread lightly in the hall. You don't know what's in there.
What are you doing here? The excavation site is closed. I don't need any more workers or guards. Zell? The ruins underneath Markarth? The wealth of artifacts that I've based 2 human lifetimes of research on? You idiot! Do you even know who I am? The most recognized scholar on the Dwemer in all of Tamriel. And you people keep bothering me. I'm sorry, I got too excited. I'm in the middle of some very stressful work, and I shouldn't have yelled. How can I help you? Then you were well informed. I am at this very moment on the cusp of completing my magnum opus on the subject. I'm calling it Calcelmo's Guide to the Falmer Tongue. It will revolutionize the way we understand those ancient beings. Preposterous! That research represents years of personal toil in some of the most dangerous Dwemer ruins in Skyrim. You must be mad to think I'd allow anyone to see it before it's completed. What kind of a mentor would I be if I denied a potential student a glimpse at his master's ingenuity? Here, this key will provide access to my museum. Feel free to browse for as long as you wish. However, I must insist that my laboratory remains strictly off-limits. I've already provided you with the key to my museum. What else could you possibly want? To protect my research, for one. There are more cutthroat scholars out there who would steal my findings if they got the chance. And the excavations into Zell are dangerous. Dwemer machines and traps still function, even after thousands of years. Yes, their history and culture is all around us in Markarth, a race of stonecutters, artisans, and engineers. They invented machines and built elaborate underground cities where they researched powers to rival the gods themselves. And then, at a time we are still not sure when, they disappeared. The whole people, all at once, leaving behind only their works. Persistent, aren't you? Oh, very well. Who am I to stand in the way of curiosity? I'll let you in if you agree to something for me. There's a giant spider in Zell. My workers call her Nimhi, the poisoned one. If you deal with Nimhi, I'll let you into both the excavation site and my Dwemer museum. What do you say? Enthusiasm. Good. Here's the key to the dig site. I was beginning to lose faith that any help would come. You see, I've been thinking about Weylin quite a bit. You know Weylin? Well, suffice to say she is resplendent, but not without resolve. Striking in all senses. The trouble is that I can't seem to speak around her. My mouth goes dry, and I start to shake. I could never hope to approach her. That's the trouble. I know Weylin from the keep, but I have no idea what sorts of things she likes. It's not a simple matter. I could offend her fairly easily by bringing up the wrong subject. I've seen it happen before. There is one, Ingvar. He's quite popular with the ladies. Thankfully, Weylin is not quite his type, but they've been friends for some time, and he may have some ideas. Please, ask him what she likes. It's my only chance. I've already provided you with the key to my museum. What else could you possibly want?
Don't mind the dogs. They get anxious when they haven't had dinner. Oh, thank you. The dogs were getting restless. Here, this is for you. Until next time.
Before you say anything, no, I am not from the Reach. No, I'm a Breton from High Rock, and I refuse to be mistaken for a filthy native. I don't care if we share the same ancestors. These people are savages. Half of them are forsworn barbarians. And have you seen what they eat? What have I done for the gods to take me so far from my beloved Daggerfall? Yes, the finest court in all of High Rock. You think politics here or something? Well, we Bretons invented politics. That is where I learned to cook, and where I belong. Not here with all these dogs. All right then.
What a waste. There must be a dozen men up there. Yeah. Calselmo called in his entire expedition team. Said he needed every man he could get to protect his research. Better them than us. We lost 3 good men to the traps up there. And for what? Just to see another damn spider banking around. Well, at least this post is safe enough. Come on, let's get back to work.
Kill any intruders on sight. Call for backup if you need it, but let no one through.
As you say, sir.
have committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say you in your defense? Smart man. Now, come along with us. We'll take any stolen goods, and you'll be free to go. After you pay the fine, of course.
Tacitus, what is this?
A nail?
Is that what you call it? In the Legion, we would call it useless. Look how brittle the metal is.
I'm sorry. Well, the forge gets so hot and I thought...
You thought what? You would skip a step? Not heat the metal all the way through? Now do it again. Need a new blade? Tacitus? Boy's an Imperial. I keep showing him how to treat the iron, but he never gets it. In the Legion, the Imperial smiths used to read books when they couldn't set their hammers straight. Wisdom of the old, I guess. If you find a book called The Last Scabbard of Actish, could you bring it to me? Tacitus sure isn't learning by example. Thanks. Grew up in a stronghold. Every orc girl tended the forge at some point. A girl has to grow up, and life in the stronghold asked for a lot in return. So I joined the Legion, mastered my trade there. That's right. An orc stronghold. Kept to ourselves, lived as our ancestors would have wanted. Wasn't enough for me, though. I left. Didn't want to end up as the third wife of some lowly chieftain.
What do you think this is?
Another trap, most likely. It's dangerous. 3 of the guards died when the lower hall flooded with steam. I'm helping here.
Accidents like this don't just happen. Someone is trying to sabotage my uncle's research.
Alright. If there is a thief, he won't leave this tower alive. But shouldn't we inform Master Calcelmo?
I'll deal with my uncle. Just go. Scour this place from top to bottom.
No! This is what you want! Mercy! No more! I yield! I suffered worse during training. That's it? That's all you've got? The best in me.
knew I'd find you. It's nothing.
What am I supposed to do? Never leave the house? You want that ending?
You're closing this stall, and that's fine.
You want to give up now?
Need something?
Is that what we're going to teach our daughter?
Mama, why are you and Papa fighting?
You want a cut of venison?
We're not fighting, we're just...
Of course you do.
Why don't I get you something to eat? Mama and Papa will talk later.
Are you looking for a gift for a friend, perhaps? Or a lover? My family came here centuries ago. We made a good living smithing the silver that flows through the city. But you probably wanted to know about the fancy carvings and stonework, didn't you? Travelers always do. Here, I have a delivery I need to make to Calcimo. Why don't you take it to him? He knows the history of Markarth better than anyone. Thank you. He can be a bit difficult, but I'm sure he'll appreciate your help. Come back if you need a new ring or necklace.
No, I'm not Arnleif. Yes, I know it's called Arnleif and Sons. I inherited the store from my husband. His father was Arnleif. My husband, Gunnar, died about 5 years ago. Forsworn attack. I miss that stubborn oaf. Oh, by the divines, is it that obvious? I swear, if my Gunnar was alive to see me now. This store would finally be on its feet if I hadn't lost my last shipment to the Forsworn attacks. A specially made Dibella statuette. You aren't for hire, are you? A sellsword? I'll pay you if you can recover that statuette from the Forsworn. Thank you. I'll have a sum of gold waiting for you when you return. No, as if trade wasn't poor enough. Now there's violence in the streets. It was the Forsworn, wasn't it? I lose dozens of shipments every season to those barbarians. Now they're in the city? Gods help us.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting to pick that up. Poor Kira. Such a patient woman. Now, you're supposed to get something for your trouble, aren't you? How about some gold? People seem to like that, I notice. I hope you enjoy touring the museum. Just don't touch anything.
City of Markarth sure is a beauty. No doubt about that. Where do you want to go? Climb and back, and we'll be off. I can't wait here forever.